Hello and welcome to P3D everyone. Now today, and you're obviously going to see something different off the bat if you watch my videos, so I'm just going to go out and tell you. Today we're testing some new PTA presets, and today's preset we're testing is the Ultra Realism Pack 1.1, completely free, links in the description if you want P3D to look awesomely nice and realistic. This is the pack for you. I recommend you go get it right now. But what are we doing today? Well, today we are at London Gatwick and we're going to be flying down to Dubai in this Emirates 777. Now, they don't actually operate the 777 out of Gatwick anymore, but they used to. I think they operate the Airbus A380 nowadays, but we're going to go back in time and just use the 777 anyway. So, a little information. Of course, we are Emirates, and we're in the pmdg 777, and we are flying on the Vatsim network. However, we're not actually connected to it right now because some guy has just gone and nicked my parking spot and I'm too lazy to move. So we're going to wait until he leaves and then we're going to reconnect and get our clearance and all that from the ATC. It's quite busy. I'm looking at Vatsim right now on my other monitor. I can see there's 14 departures and 2 arrivals, and there's some people on holding patterns around Gatwick. We have Gatwick Tower, Ground and ATIS currently connected. So it should be a lot of fun as long as this guy gets out my parking spot. Estimated flight time today around 6.5 hours, so it looks like we're going to catch a bit of a tailwind, but not as much as we usually would, as that's a bit of an extended flight time today. Overall, let's hope the shaders survive a 6-hour flight. If they don't, then the RIP will need to muck about with some settings, but if they do, then hashtag good job on stress test. Also, before we begin, I'd just like to thank you all for 100 subscribers in less than 1 month. It really means a lot to me, and we're nearing we're at 8,000 views, so that's pretty good. Also, I love all the positive feedback you guys leave in the comments below, so please don't feel under pressure to stop sending me that positive feedback. It is the motivation that helps me continue doing these flights, and thank you for all the support, especially on the PMDG tutorial I released the other day. Thank you so much for all the support on that. Anyway, enough rambling on, let's get on to the flight deck. Hello and welcome back on board the PMDG 777 flight deck. As you can see, very nice job on the shading. Just look how much nicer that looks in previous videos. I really like this preset, by far my favourite. It's just such a nice sort of looking preset, if you ask me. Really brings out all the colours of the cockpit. We're going to get started just setting up a few preliminary things. What we'll do is we'll stick the nav light on. We'll stick the logo light on. We don't really need the logo light, but you know, we'll do it anyway. Put the seatbelt signs on. What else can we do? What we'll do is we'll switch the packs on to automatic. We'll arm the emergency lights. Window heats are already on, and ADIRU can come on as well. We're already running, as you can see, on external power, primary external power. Okay. Doors for our catering are closed and armed, which is good. Right, let's go down and have a little look in the FMC, shall we? We'll go into position initialization and we'll enter some information. So we're at Gatwick, EGKK, and we're at stand 53. This isn't the stand that Emirates normally use, but it's the only one that GSX wanted to cooperate with. And I'm not smart enough to muck about with all of the settings. Now, as this is not a real-world aircraft or a real-world simulator, not too long to align, about 15 seconds or so, which is really good for us, because we just don't have to bother with waiting a long time. And there we go. It's all aligned now. We'll go into route. We have a route to request. It's like I made earlier, hashtag Blue Peter style. And now we'll just wait for this route to load. After this, we'll call up ATC and get our clearance. But do tell me what you think of the shaders below. I'll leave a link to it in the description if you want to use it, and I'll maybe do a tutorial on it in the future. Should probably load the route first though, for activating it. I also need to figure out which runway is the active runway here at Gatwick. And there's only one way that I know how to do that. It is consulting my good old friend, the ATC. So we'll wait for this to load. There we go. Pref initialization's ready. Right, so let's tune the ATC. Now, I believe the ATC is on 134220. So let's tune in and have a little listen, shall we? Okay, so there was no ATC. I figured out the runway, so we're going to call up for clearance. It's very busy in the background, so we're going to try and get our words in.
Speed 51 kilo for Gatwick ground.
We just need to wait for our opportunity to speak.
51 kilo for crossing. Speed 51 kilo for span 52, piston start through west. Start face west, speed 51 kilo alpha. Speed 42 Charlie Foxtrot, make a left Lima, taxi to holding point. Alpha 26 left via Lima. Quebec, 08 left, Alpha November, Papa, and Alpha Sierra.
Right, so we're Emirates 12 777 stand 53 QNH 1028 and we're IFR to
Telegram, hello,
so
Emirates 16 view stand 58. No information, request clearance to Dubai, please.
Oh mate, you actually just stole my flight, that is so triggering.
16 online.
That is so triggering. See when you think you're like the only flight
Speedbird 40 Charlie
leaving,
Fox,
it can be quite annoying.
Yeah, the last transmission was broken, please repeat.
Give ground Emirates 12, a very good morning to you, sir. Radio check please.
Emirates 12 Gatwick ground, good afternoon, readability 5121 decimal 8.
Copy readability 5 for Emirates 12 and Emirates 12 aircraft type 777 on stand 53 of QNH of 1028, request IFR clearance to Dubai as filed.
Okay, Brian, I'm sorry we had some problems with our communication, but Speedbird 42 Charlie Foxtrot, cleared to taxi via Lima, Quebec, Juliet,
Cleared to
Alpha
taxi, that's a
November
new
to
one.
holding point, runway 26 right, left.
Things you hear on Vatsims.
Speedbird 42 Charlie Foxtrot, just confirm that's holding point Alpha 2 for runway 26 left.
Emirates 16 have sent us a message.
For runway 26 left, Speedbird
Tell you
42
what,
Charlie Foxtrot.
we'll give them a communal answer back.
Speedbird 42
Yes.
Charlie Foxtrot negative, it's holding point Alpha 2.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alpha 2, Speedbird 42 Charlie Foxtrot.
Emirates 12, are you able to accept an automatic departure?
You were broken up there, please repeat for Emirates 12.
Emirates 12, are you able to accept an ASMAG departure?
Affirm Emirates 12.
Emirates 12, is that a yes or no?
That was affirmative. Would it be easier if I just told them yes?
Emirates 12, Roger, cleared to Dubai, ASMAG 2XA departure. Squawk 4532.
Copy, clears to Dubai, Agmag 2 X-ray departure squawk 4532 at Emirates 12.
Emirates 12, just confirm squawk 4532.
Confirm squawk 4532 Emirates 12.
Okay, Emirates 12, that Kirk KH 108.
Oh, that is the most like... wow. Okay, and we're finally back. That took far too long to actually get clearance, but we did end up finally getting clearance from ATC to go to Dubai. As you can see, it's just what happens when there's only one controller manning an airport that gets quite busy. And there is only about 12-14 people at Gatwick trying to depart right now, but they're all trying to depart at the same time, so obviously that can cause stress levels to rise. So what we're going to do is we're going to muck about with the pref initialization. We want to cruise at 370. It's not going to let us do that, as it, so we have to reject this. 370. Cost index, so we'll just put 100. 0 fuel weight in as well. And reserves, where we'll take in 3.0 in reserves today because there is an event on at Dubai, I do believe, so I'm expecting it to be quite busy. And we'll take climb power 1, like so. Center of gravity, and we'll take flaps 5. Gives us our V speeds. And winds, we'll need to get our surface information, so if we just get our METAR up, we can see that the winds are 240 at 7 knots, so we'll put that in. 240 at 7, and no clue slope is, but I know it's 3 degrees outside. And thrust reduction, we're actually going to make it 1,500 today, and put the acceleration 2,000, like so. Those takeoff speeds are a bit high. Change it to, yeah, that should be fine. Flaps 15 will give us better takeoff speeds. Right, I believe that's the better part of the FMC done. Yep, it appears so. Right, so FMC is being set up. What we'll do is we'll set all the brakes to RTO. We can turn the flight directors on. And we'll set up the MCP and all that sort of stuff. But first, let's go and have a little look outside and check on the bags and passengers that are now just getting on board. Okay, so we're on the outside of the aircraft now, watching all the bags now just starting to come on board, and they're marked with British Airways, but I guess that's just because we've got British Airways doing GSX. You want to have a look at the traffic leaving Gatwick. It's actually quite interesting. If we use our super laser simulator eye vision to zoom in, we can see we got an Airbus, we got a 777 British Airways, no clue where he's going. There was one that just took off, and he's going to, there was a A319 just took off, and he's going to Amsterdam, so that is interesting. Is he going to take off? Oh, is that a... Oh wow, look at Thomas Cook. Retro livery, or not retro, but older livery. So I really, a little bit I want to talk about is just how nice this shader makes the simulator feel. I'm really trying to sell this shader to you, if you've not been sold on it already. But it is just an absolutely amazing shader. I mean, just look at it. The way it meshes, it's got a nice blue hazy effect. You can sort of see there with the clouds and everything. It's so nice. Just input this with ultra realism, whatever it is, like it's called, which is only, by the way, and I got it for £12, so it's not even that expensive. The immersive realism thing. Put those two together, you got yourself a great add-on. And you can see the 777 now powering itself down the runway. Is it going to take off? There it goes. No clue where it's going. Yeah, so like I said, it is pretty busy at Gatwick. Some of this is static, some of this is not. That is not. There's an EasyJet sliding round the corner, Tokyo Drift style. But yeah, it's honestly, it is quite busy. You can see there's another one lined up already, and I know there's a couple in on the approach. Who have we got in on the approach? Easy 18 Alpha Lima's on the approach. Lufthansa 421s on the approach. So we got quite a few on the approach and we got quite a few on the ground. But our cargo is currently being put on, so we'll wait until that's all on. We'll hop inside the flight deck and we'll get ready to power up the APU and to push back. Okay, so last couple of bags are coming on board. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to start the APU powering up and ready for our departure. So what we'll do is we'll turn on the left forward fuel pump and start the APU. That'll start to come online. While we're waiting on the APU being powered up, we'll do a couple things up here. We'll set up VOR left and VOR right. We'll get our traffic on. And we'll do the same on the co-pilot side. Set up the MCP as well while we're here. So initial speed's 163, like so, and initial heading is 260 or 259, 260 for the laugh. I'm LNAV and VNAV. I'm going to try and sell the shader to you again. Look at this! Like, I'm going to leave a link in the description, and if you've got P3D and you've got V3 and you want your simulator to look realistic, you better get this. And you can't even, I mean, you can't even make an excuse you don't want to buy it, because this is completely free. Like, it's honestly, I don't know what much more to say, but it is amazing. So please help this guy out. He's done a fantastic job making this. So whoever it is that made it, props to you, mate. Like, this is one of the best add-ons I've ever had for P3D. As long as it doesn't crash my P3D on this test flight. If it does, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed. But it is overall just amazing detail put into this. I think I've sold it enough now. I think people are going to start getting annoyed if I keep selling it. Right, we'll wait for the final cargo to get put on board. Let's go and see how much is left. I think we got one cargo box thing, have we? We got one going on, then we got one to come on after that. So I'll come back to you once we have the last cargo on board, and we'll get ready to push back and depart. Okay, so we're now going to go ahead and call up the tower, not tower ground, for our push and start. And ground, Emirates 12, stand 5-3, ready for push and start.
Emirates 12, stand 5-3, push and approved, face east.
Push start approved, face east, Emirates 12. Okay, so we're now getting set for our push and start.
Speedbird 2759, Gatwick
rushing to
Gatwick ground.
Turn everything on.
Taxi to parking 109 via 08 left, Romeo and Kilo.
Right, what are we forgetting? I'm forgetting something.
Taxi stand 109 via
that was it.
08 left, Romeo and Kilo, Speedbird 57, whatever that is.
57, whatever that is. Great terminology, mate. Top notch.
275.
Right, hydraulics ready to go. We'll set stab trim. There we go. Trim set. Gears being locked into place. We'll set main selector on engines. And we're pretty much ready to go.
Name 317, yes, we have some difficulties.
Ground push is locking the gear.
Scandinavian 3017, taxi to Holden
Just
Point
disconnect,
Mike 1, for runway 26 left, via Mike.
Oh, it still thinks
Taxi to Holden Point Mike 1, via Mike 26 left, Scandinavian 317.
You serious? Recognise my
Emirates
parking bricks.
16, no holiday CC available. Want to see com 122.
Maybe if I go into...
122 and have fun with the name TV, version of the camera 26 left.
Okay, so we're waiting until we're fully pushed back.
Good afternoon. 35 flight level 260 to Amsterdam. Max flight level is 230, so I can make this amendment for you if you want.
Okay, and we've pushed back. We're going to go ahead and start engines. So we'll start engine 2 first, and confirm we have oil pressure.
No, shuttle
Fuel can come in.
992, Gatwick ground, good afternoon.
N2 rising, N1 rising, EGT rising, I hope. Come on.
Roger, we are going 738.
Anytime.
And stand 145, North Shuttle 90892.
We'll switch TCAS to TA only.
No, shuttle 9892. J, good to Innsbruck, Balkan 183 departures, block 3756.
So we've been pushed back in the wrong direction by my good friend GSX. What is that? What is that? Is that a seaplane? Okay, I guess they have them at Gatwick. Okay.
No, shuttle
Start left
9892,
engine.
negative, Balkan 1 X-ray departures, block 3756.
And confirm oil pressure.
Balkan 1 X-ray departure and squawking 3756, North Shuttle 90892.
We go.
No, shuttle
Wait, turn off some taxis.
9892, feedback correct, QNH retreat.
Okay.
Call you back for pushback.
Right, well, listen, just starting up, we'll call for our taxi clearance. And ground, apologies, our pushback tug didn't like us very much. Nevertheless, Emirates 12 request taxi.
Your tray table, footrest and personal video screen should be folded away. Window blinds open and your seat should be in the upright position. Baggage should be securely stowed in the overhead locker.
Emirates 12, say again.
Emirates 12, apologies, we appear to have pushed back facing west, but Emirates 12 requests taxi.
Lift the metal flap to unfasten your belt. If you wish to sleep during the flight, please fasten the seatbelt over your blanket so that we will not have to disturb.
Emirates
For
12,
safety reasons,
taxi, home point Quebec 1, via Lima, Quebec.
take off or landing. Mobile telephone.
Copy, taxi holding point Quebec 1 via Lima and Quebec, Emirates 12.
You are told it is safe to use them by your cabin crew.
Okay,
Mario 127,
lever engines are started up now, we'll set flaps
The cabin environment.
and line to disconnected.
to
If oxygen is required,
flap setting
masks will
15,
appear from above you.
and yeah,
Towards you,
let's start the
Place the
taxi.
mask over your face and breathe normally. Attend to yourself first and then help others. In the unlikely event of an emergency landing, please adopt the brace position appropriate to your seat. There is a life jacket under or to the side of your seat. When instructed by the cabin crew, remove it from its container and put it over your head. Bring the tape around your waist and fasten in front, pulling firmly to secure. Only inflate your life jacket when you're leaving the aircraft by pulling the two red toggles sharply downwards. You can also inflate or top up the life jacket by blowing into the mouthpiece. You can use the whistle to attract attention, and a light will automatically illuminate when in water. Before we commence our journey, take a moment to locate the emergency exit nearest to your seat. There are 10 emergency exits on this 777-300, which are clearly marked in red. If required, lights at floor level will direct you to the nearest exit, which may be behind you. To remind yourself of the safety aspects of this aircraft, please read the safety card in your seat pocket. Your cabin crew will now pass through the cabin carrying out a final safety check. Enjoy your flight with Emirates.
Okay, and we're good to go. We are
Gatwick ground virgin.
no longer affected by ATC, but we'll go ahead and, in fact, what am I doing? Taxi off, strobe on, landing lights on, notify the cabin that we're ready to go, and let's taxi on to the runway. That was a bit of an awkward taxi because I couldn't see what the signpost taxi markings were saying, and I got my holding points mixed up, but we could use the extra room anyway, so it's not all bad. Right. we're just gonna pull on to 26 left here. If we can. As you can see, I've resorted from, instead of using differential brakes and parking brakes, I'm just using my wheel chocks now, just because, as you can see, I'm still having the rudder problem. I'm going to invest in new rudders, so because these ones they've done their job, but I think their time of working properly has passed, unfortunately. So it is a shame. Okay, and we will line up, increase throttles to 50%. And apply toga and throttles. Okay, that is 80 knots and holding.
V1.
V1, rotate. Oh, a tail strike, that's not good. Positive rate of climb, gear up. Climb, and coming from 1000 feet, engage autopilot. Climb, decrease rate, 3000. Flaps to 5. Hold speed intervention. Speed at 340. Okay. Look at that. How nice does that look? I know, right? Get that package. Decrease vertical climb to 2000. We're pitched up way too high. I'm not sure if I'm going to carry through with the tail strike thing, just because there's no ATC to do it, so we might just get out of the way. That was a fault on my part. Tail strikes are a bit of a pain on these 777-300s. But that'll be me got straight up mocking from the Vatsim UK TeamSpeak for the rest of the year then, I would imagine. Right, aircraft failures, active, clear all. Execute, there we go. Maybe if we get ATC on, we'll do some emergencies in the future. Right, increase that to our climb altitude. Increase speed to 50. We're going to have to decrease this to 1000, aren't we? To actually gain some speed. And there's Gatwick. Looking lovely. Okay, flaps 1. And we'll take the turn-offs off right now. And past 6,000 feet, select standard. Look at that. See what I mean by when I say the blue haze effect? This is what I'm talking about. That blue haze effect. Right, and flaps up. And increase rate of climb. And select legs. We're going to take direct to Dover. Which should make us enter VNAV, and now thrust and climb can be handled by the autopilot. Okay, eventful takeoff. Let's go and have a little look at the outside of the aircraft, shall we? Well, here is Emirates 1-2 climbing out of London. Look at that rate of climb. You see Gatwick in the background, still busy as ever. So I believe we did have a tail strike. It's a bit of a shame for the 777, you know. is a bit upsetting, but oh well. Maybe next time. It's pretty embarrassing. But yeah, that's us set for the flight now. I will get back to you on our descent into Dubai if we make it without having a memory error. If not, I'll probably just upload this beginning anyway. So, depending on what you see, enjoy the rest of your flight, and I'll see you in Dubai. Okay, and welcome back everyone. We are now on the approach into Dubai. Dubai is, as you can see, right below us, and it is quite late at Dubai. I am unsure if anyone's actually still around. There's no ATC, you can see we're on Unicom, and we're now just dipping below 7,000 feet. Trying to maintain a good speed for the approach. We're going to try and intercept the localizer if we can. I'm just going to increase vertical descent, and I'll tell you what, we're going to slow down 200 for an approach speed. We've got the speed brake out in full force. And this is FlyTampa Dubai. If any of you haven't seen it, it's a very nice scenery. I recommend you all go buy it immediately, as I do with most of my good sceneries that I like to fly at. Right, we can lay off vertical descent just a tad. What we're going to do is we're going to take an intercept heading of 212 to from Surgo to here. Hopefully, if not, we'll extend it to Villar and bring it in. We're going to arm the localizer and arm the approach, and then hopefully, if all goes well, we should descend on the glide path as planned. However, we're having a bit of trouble slowing down, so we're going to try and just decrease as we go on. Hopefully this all goes well. Knowing my luck, something will go wrong, but you know, I live in hope. it doesn't look like we have a crosswind from what I can see in the METAR. It looks like we have a stable headwind, so that means we shouldn't get blown over to the side too much. However, visibility is reporting not that great, so especially at the lower altitudes, so we may have some difficulties there. We'll have to wait and see. One of the things I want to go over is the ultra realism pack. Now if we have a look outside, you can see that you can only really see the lights, and that's a feature of the ultra realism pack. It just makes it look much more realistic, because if you've ever been on a plane at night, you'll know that you can't actually see outside the aircraft. Like, you can maybe see the wing if the wing light's on, but that's about it. So that's what this is trying to emulate for more realism purposes. Right, we'll decrease this now 1000. It's a bit annoying having no ATC in. Normally ATC would vector you, but we just have to make do. Hopefully we can get this right. Well, we can see the speed starting to decrease now. How's it looking? 219. Once we get to 210, I'll hit the first notch of flaps. In fact, I might do that now. Let's bring in flaps 1. Flaps 1. There we go. And we'll let that come in. Help us slow down a bit. Alright, so it looks like we're going to be intercepting at Valar instead of Gurgo as planned, but that's fine. We just need to knock off a little bit of extra altitude and speed. In fact, we might actually be able to make that. Hold on, we might be able to do this. We'll see. It looks like we might just reach, we're holding at 200 knots, that's fine. I tell you what, we'll bring the speed brake up a little bit, lay it off slightly, like so. Just trying to make it better. Oh, a little bit bumpy. I think we're going for the clouds now, if I can see outside. Bit bumpy. Right.
2500.
Okay, let's take that intercept heading and let's take flaps 5 and speed decrease will arm localizer as well. I'll decrease speeds 180. Okay, so localizer's armed. Okay, we're on altitude, didn't quite get it on the line, but that's fine. Speed brake coming out now. Cannot see anything, we're in clouds I think. Cabin's ready for landing. Speed's dropping a bit, come on. Give us a bit of speed. How are we looking with this localizer? There we go, localizer captured, arm approach. Okay. And this will be interesting. This will be an interesting approach. Right, we'll try and decrease speed 160 now. And we'll bring in flaps 15. Okay. Now, I do not have sight on the airport yet. I'm trying to get my throttles to stay in place because they are heavy, they are... Oh, we're going way too fast. Slow it right down. Right, looks like we're perfectly lined up, but we definitely need to hammer on the speed brake. How are we looking for our approach here? 10 nautical miles to run. That diamond should start to descend. Okay, yep. Right, speed's now being controlled by the autopilot, I think. Diamond's descending. It's fine, we'll take away the speed brake and we'll actually now just arm speed brake. Diamond's also, I'll tell you what, we'll drop the gear a little early. Just to try and get some extra drag because we were going a bit fast there. Gear coming down. Now we're getting some serious deceleration. We're almost hitting the diamond. And glide slope alive. I can see a motorway in front of us. And we'll bring in next notch of flaps. Flaps 20. Okay, looks like we got a bit of a crosswind starting to come up on us. We'll increase to our reference speed. 6 knots, not too bad. Next notch of flaps. 25. There we go. I don't see the runway just quite yet, but we'll give it a second. It is quite dark. Okay, let's get into landing position as we always do. And we'll wait for 1,000 feet and we'll disconnect the autopilot. We're going for flaps 25 landing today. We have a lot of excess fuel. I'm not the greatest at fuel planning, I must say. Autopilot's dimming is a little bit low.
1,000.
Okay, that's 1,000. We'll disconnect the autopilot then. And we now have manual control of the aircraft. It looks like we're really low. I'm actually going to pitch her up a little bit. This seems far too low for my liking. Okay.
Approaching 30 left.
No, I really don't like this. Come on, I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it's just me. I'm thinking too hard about it. I just feel like we're too high.
$500.
500. Right, there we go. All full disconnected. Okay.
100.
Low. Come on, keep speed up.
50.
We're
40.
pitched way too high
30.
for this, but we'll.
20.
That'll do.
10.
I guess we're flared already. Okay, and wheels on the ground, and reverser's green. $90. That's 70, and we'll ease off reversers now. Cancel reversers and manual braking as well. Okay, we'll keep the speed up. We'll take the next high-speed exit where possible, and I believe our terminal's right there. And start the APU as well. Okay. Okay, and we'll just taxi off the runway now. Strobes coming off, and landing lights coming off. Like so. Flaps coming up, and speed brake can come off as well as we vacate, and we'll turn the auto brake off as well, and the TCAS TE only. I feel like we're a little bit back in the seat. We should be more forward and lowered like so. Right, now any one of these gates can be for us. We're not really picky. We'll just keep up speed. I believe it thinks we're trying to take off because we've got the throttle set in quite a high speed because of my differential brakes. However, that is not the case. Right, APU is running. That's fine. Now, how do we get over here? I'm looking for a link. There should be a link somewhere. I didn't bother to my charts on the other side of my desk, and I really can't be bothered to go over and get them. Right, what gate picks are fancy? I want one of those ones down at the bottom. That looks like a fun gate down there. And just so we can have a little look around the airport. So yeah, this is Dubai with Ultimate Realism pack on. I think it looks really nice. I think it makes it look a little bit more immersive. Also, if you can't tell, I have FX effects on as well for the lights. That's what makes the lights look so good. Right. How fast are we going? 23. I want to slow it down just a little bit. We'll take the next gate. Next gate will be fine. Taxi light off, and we turn offs are off. And we'll swing it in. Like so, and the alarms can shut up. Okie dokie, bringing it in now. Nice and steady. Foxtrot 19, sure, that'll be fine. Okie dokie. The safe park's right in front of us. Just a little bit slowly. I can't see the safeguard on yet. Not on yet. I believe that's it coming online now. Is it? Nope, still not on. Rip. Right, we'll just try and keep it slow for it. Like so. And idle throttle. Still wants us to keep coming. A little bit over to the side, I guess. Nope, still not telling us to stop. And stop there apparently. Okay. What we'll do is we'll get our newfound parking brakes out. Where are they? There we go, nice little parking brakes there. Confirm we have the APU running. We'll turn on the dome light first of all so I can actually see what I'm doing, and shut down one of the engines. Just confirm that we have power. Yep, and we'll shut down the second engine to confirm that we still have power. Okay, what else can come off? Beacon can come off. Oh, nav light can stay on. Seatbelt sights can come off. Fuel pumps can come off. Those can come off. Packs can come off. EDRU can come off. And emergency lights, they can come off as well. We'll connect up ground power and the air conditioning units, turn them on, and power down the APU. And we'll stop the clock. 5 hours and 57 minutes in. We got a really nice tailwind during the flight. You might have seen it in one of the cockpit panning shots. We had 146, I believe it was, so it was quite nice. And does the jetway work? Unfortunately, not at this stand. That is pretty depressing, not gonna lie. Right, let's go have a little look outside and watch the bags and people get off. So I just found out something incredible. When with GSX, the jetway works fine. How about that? So we actually do have a jetway. Hey, that's great. And you can see the jetway is disappearing, but it's connected up here at Dubai. Look at that. Well, I can say that has been a personal favourite flight of mine, especially with the Ultimate Realism pack. Really helped make this a great flight. You can see cargo now coming off and being offloaded, but honestly I can't say good enough things about the new presets for 1.1. absolutely incredible. Links in the description for them, of course. Can I actually see inside this jet? Nah, it doesn't really work, does it? That's a shame. Yeah, so links, all that in the description. Let me know where you want me to see you fly next. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff that everyone just loves to hear. And I guess I'll see you in the next flight then. Bye.